who leave everything behind and come to a new country far away from their families. So sometimes we even like, oh, we cannot do this, so let's give up, but we still try to not give up. So we need someone to encourage us to keep going and to continue our way until we get what we want. So I think, yeah, that's all that the girls need to hear from you. And I really appreciate that you're here tonight to give some advice and some words for girls to get hope and continue. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Vida. And hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. It's so good to see your wonderful faces. Hello, hello. We still have people coming in. But it's so good to see you. Maliha, hi. Basira, hello. You can unmute and say hi. Farnaz, welcome.
Hello, everyone.
A special shout out to Basira, whose birthday it is today, I believe.
Yes,
Happy birthday,
thank you.
Basira.
Thank you very much. Thank you for remembering it, Susan.
Michael wants to say hi to everyone. Michael,
Hello,
say hi.
Michael.
Good job.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Farida. Hi, Samin. Oh, Farida, who's that?
Hello. Rania, my baby.
Hi, Rania. And can we get the eLeave classroom on camera? We've got a whole classroom of girls who are attending, girls and women who are attending tonight, all together. All right, amazing. I'm spotlighting you guys for everyone. Here, show one more time the room. Let's see who we got. Hey. Awesome. That's our advanced English class at the University of Saskatchewan, taking time out of their studies to be here tonight. Oh, this is so wonderful. Hi, Neela. Hi, Freeba. Hi, Robaba. Oh, this is great.
Hi,
Malika.
We'll just wait a couple more minutes before we get started. I know people are joining, so just this is a great time to say hello to everyone.
Yeah, look at all the people, Michael. Isn't it amazing? Say hi. Hi, family. What a great community we have. Hi, Roya. Hi, Hasiba. We have Alaha has joined. It's been too long since I've seen so many of you. I hope you're all doing well.
Oh, hi.
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 Is that our Nova Scotia contingent?
Yeah.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Hi. I think we'll get started in just a minute here. So just letting in a couple more people as they're coming in, and then we'll get started shortly. Thank you all so much for being here. It's very exciting to see you.
And if you can turn on your cameras, please do. I know some of you, I'm getting some messages, are at work. Thank you for joining at work. Don't get in trouble. But this is a special occasion. We have 87 people on the call so far. This is fantastic.
And one of them is the classroom. So it's another about 20 people in that one. So
Hi.
Hi, Shahla. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Thank you. I'm also good.
So I need to have that in my ear so I can hear everyone.
All right. I think it's safe to get started here. And as people are coming in, they will start joining and listening in. So let's do this. Is everyone ready? Fantastic.
Yes.
Great, great. Fantastic. And at this point, I'm going to ask if everyone could please go ahead and put themselves on mute and turn on your cameras if you're able to show your faces, your wonderful faces. As we're going to have different presenters. So, hi everyone. We'll be starting this event with a land and treaty acknowledgement presented by our very own Wingspan Advisory Board member, Vida Alizada.
Hi everyone, I hope you are all well. As we gather here tonight for the Wingspan Lounge, I would like to acknowledge that I am speaking to you from London, Ontario, the traditional territory of Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Lenape, and Adonai peoples. We also acknowledge that many in our community are located in Saskatoon, on Sixth Territory, and homeland of Métis. Tonight, as we celebrate women's empowerment, let us also remember the importance of truth and reconciliation with Indigenous peoples across Canada. We honor their cultures, their resilience, and their ongoing contribution to this land. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vila John. We are so incredibly blessed to have you as a part of our 30 Birds community. So greetings, everyone, and a very warm welcome to this historic event as we come together from around the globe during an especially meaningful time as we celebrate Eid to introduce the 30 Birds Foundation's brand new program, Wingspan. I'm Susan Anselin, and I serve as Director of Community and Mentorship at this incredible organization. We truly love and appreciate having so many passionate individuals filling up this Zoom room here today, including our wonderful 30 Birds community members, our esteemed board of directors, our amazing staff, the extraordinary Wingspan Advisory Committee, and our phenomenal program partners. So thank you all so much for being here. I'm also thrilled to announce that our keynote speaker for today's event is none other than the remarkable Maryam Monsef, whose insights and experiences will undoubtedly inspire us all. Now, Wingspan represents a new chapter in our commitment to empowering girls and young women to affect positive change in their lives, in their communities, and beyond. This network will serve as a platform for growth, collaboration, and making a significant impact globally. Our agenda for today's event is packed with enlightening sessions, starting with words of wisdom from our Executive Director, Justin Hefter, insights from our advisory committee, and an inspirational message from Maryam Monsef. And last but certainly not least, we will open the floor to a stimulating Q&A session with Maryam and Justin. So I encourage you all to engage fully in today's event as we embark on this exciting journey with Wingspan, knowing that together, we can create a ripple effect of positive change that will impact lives far and wide. And now, without further ado, it is my absolute honor to welcome one of 30 Birds' greatest gifts. It's safe to say that anyone who knows this particular individual would agree with me that he is one of the most passionate advocates and allies for and with Afghan women and girls. He is 1,000% convinced that Afghan women and girls have the power and the potential to lead the world, and that the world will be a much better place because of it and because of them. With this conviction and vision, this individual leads with heart and with curiosity and works tirelessly, I mean tirelessly when I say that, to turn seemingly impossible dreams into reality. His determination and truly inspirational leadership have brought us together to create Wingspan, a true testament to his commitment to helping our community thrive. Now, please join me in welcoming 30 Birds Foundation's incredibly amazing Executive Director, Justin Hefter.
Wow, Susan, you are extraordinary. Thank you for that introduction, and thank you for your incredible leadership. For those of you who have not yet met Susan, who've not yet met Susan, um, you're missing out if you've not had a chance to meet her. For those of you who have, you also know that Susan, uh, if she thinks I'm tireless, Susan really, Susan goes above and beyond. And it's such an honor to get to work with you. You've put your heart and soul into this program. This is your program. This is, you've worked so hard at building this community, and thank you. Thank you for making this possible. This is amazing. I mean, I hope everyone is scrolling through the faces, and please put your camera on if you can. I'm just scrolling through the faces and the names. I mean, this is an incredible community that is on this Zoom. And each screen, including the screen that has 20 people from our eLead program, I mean, but each screen contains an amazing story, and an amazing future that we can't even begin to think and understand the potential that each screen has. And when you multiply that by 112 screens that are on this call, I mean, the potential in this Zoom room is extraordinary. And that's really why we're launching Wingspan. We're launching Wingspan to help harness and unleash the potential of all of you who are on this call, and all of your peers, all of the other Afghan women and girls who have fled the country for new homes, and all of the women and girls who are still in Afghanistan dreaming of a better future. Wingspan is dedicated to you and to them. And I want to share a bit, people often ask me, and like, why did I get involved in this? Why is this something that I have become so passionate about and I have become such a big believer in? And so I'll share a little bit about my personal story, and then I'll share a little bit about this program and what we've designed together, and what we've designed not as just a 30 Birds staff, but something that we've designed together with many of you who are in this room. And so you'll learn about how the program came to be as well. But for those who don't know, I'm Jewish, and it's a really important part of my identity. And in the 1930s and 40s, from just one of my grandparents, lost more than 70 relatives in the Holocaust. For those who don't know, the Holocaust was a genocide perpetrated against the Jewish people in the 1930s and 40s. And my ancestors, thankfully, had left Europe before that happened, by about a decade. But their siblings, their cousins, their friends, their family members were not so lucky. And I grew up with that legacy. And in the Jewish community, there's a phrase that we say never again. For us, never again means that for as long as we live, we don't want anything like that to ever happen to anybody else ever again. And when Afghanistan was falling, and I learned about the situation, I learned about the extraordinary Marifat school. I learned, and we have the amazing Aziz Royesh on our call this evening. Thank you, Aziz, for being here. And I learned about what women and girls were facing. It brought me back to my own family's history, and what would I have wanted someone to have done for my ancestors? What would I have wanted someone to have done for my community? And I had to listen to that. And so Wingspan, what we're building, after the Holocaust, after the genocide, the Jewish people were scattered around the world as refugees in so many countries around the world, just like the people of Afghanistan today after 2021, in communities and pockets, rebuilding the lives that they had, spent decades constructing. And what happened and back then there was horrible discrimination. There were jobs that Jewish people weren't allowed to have. They were prohibited from many social groups. And so organizations emerged to help bring the Jewish community together, where they could elevate one another into positions of influence and success. And over time, you know, rebuild themselves. And the results are incredible. These organizations that sprung up in the 1950s and 1960s were amazing. And nowadays, the Jewish community is incredibly successful by and large. And Jews do find themselves in positions of power and influence in organizations around the world. But it wouldn't have happened if not for these communal organizations. And so Wingspan is an attempt to create that for Afghan women and girls. Wingspan is an attempt to bring together all of you and your peers who have been scattered, not just across Canada, not just across the United States and Europe, but around the world, to bring you together, to give you the tools, the networks, the connections, the skills, the finances that you need to lift yourselves up, to restart your lives in these new places, to become leaders, to become successful, so that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you are all in positions of influence in your respective fields, whether it be artists or lawyers or doctors or politicians or CEOs, and that you not only are making your new homes better, that you're not only strengthening democracy and human rights in your new homes in Canada and the United States and in countries across Europe, but that you guys can be the force, you girls, you women can be the force that rebuilds Afghanistan as a pluralistic, democratic country driven by human rights values where women have the ability to be co-equal leaders in the future of that country, of your country. And so that's the idea behind Wingspan. Now I want to share a few of the details of how we built Wingspan, what this program looks like, and how you can benefit, and why you should really apply. So for those of you who can see, the first thing that Wingspan offers are skills. And a shout out to all of the people who are in eLeap right now. This is a picture of our prior eLeap cohort. So we are going to have a Wingspan Academy. It's an online curriculum. We'll have 2 semesters, one semester from May to August, or May to July, and the other semester from August to October, where we will have online courses in English, empowerment, mental health support, and in public speaking. And we ask that, so we'll be providing these courses over 2 semesters. So there'll be 8 opportunities, 8 courses that you can take. We ask that as a mandatory requirement of being a member of Wingspan that you take 2 of these courses. But you're not taking these courses alone. You're taking them in community. So the second key pillar of Wingspan is building community, building this network, connecting you to one another, and connecting you to extraordinary people in the world who can help open doors for you. And we're not just doing it virtually online, but in November 8th to 10th of this year, all Wingspan members will be invited to an amazing in-person summit in Saskatoon, where this community will come together to re-envision the future of Afghanistan. And it's not just, again, as I mentioned earlier, it's not just 30 birds building this community, but you all have a role and a voice in building this community too. And the design of this program was largely influenced by our amazing advisory committee of Farnaz, Farishta, Hasiba, Kubra, Laika, Maryam, Masuma, Naja, and Vida. This team, the 9 of them, of all of you, have been meeting once a week for several months to help us design the launch of this program. And I want to turn it over real briefly to Masuma Nasiri, who will be sharing a little bit about what it has been like to build this program.
Hello everyone. It's awesome. It's amazing. I'm super happy and excited to see all the faces here. For those who don't know me, I am Masuma Nasiri and I'm based in Saskatoon. And also, I am a member of the advisory committee, and I have had the honor to work with really incredible individuals from the 30 Birds team and some really amazing girls. We started working together from November 20th, 2023 till now. And from this experience, I realized that there is a big difference between being part of a program and designing and co-designing that program from scratch. And also, we were meeting every week for 1 hour to discover and analyze ideas, opportunities, and potential barriers for the girls and young women we were designing this wingspan program for. And what we really learned and took away from this experience is how much our community members are truly loved and cared for, and how important it is for us to make sure our communities succeed. I personally enjoyed the vibe and in an environment where people made room during their busy schedules just to support our community, just to support our amazing goals. I want to express my deep excitement about how incredible and extraordinary this program is. We worked really hard and thoughtfully to build this program, and we cannot wait for all the 30 Birds members to be part of this. As part of the Wingspan program, you get the chance to improve your professional and your personal life, as well as many more amazing opportunities to build and to continue your journey. We truly can't wait to have you all be part of this amazing program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Masuma, for everything, your hard work, and to the whole committee for helping us design this program. Just a few other points of benefit that this program offers. One is financial support. So everyone who's a member of Wingspan will have an opportunity to apply for academic scholarships if you're attending university or college. So this is a really incredible benefit. We hope everyone will be able to benefit from the scholarship program. And we also are envisioning a micro grants program where there will be opportunities to apply for small amounts of funds to do things that might be financially difficult to help advance your academic and professional career, whether it's hiring a tutor, taking a special class, going to a conference, things like that. And then finally, our goal is that by the end of year one, every single member of Wingspan will have a professional mentor, someone in your field who can help guide you and help you make decisions on what to do and how you can think about your career. And so this program is, at the moment, it's open to all of the 30 Birds evacuees ages 13 to 35. And it's just that community at the moment that this is open to. In the future, we hope to grow it year after year through a nomination process where each of you will have an opportunity to nominate one additional person to join this community. So we are so incredibly excited to be launching this today. And we feel incredibly honored to have a very special guest to share some wisdom, to share her ideas, her thoughts, her experiences. Many of you already know of Maryam Mansef. I first heard about Maryam while I was in Ottawa with a group of the 30 Birds girls advocating for the rest of the community, those of you who are in Pakistan, to get to Canada. And every one of the 6 of the girls that I was with, as we were walking through the offices in Parliament, kept going, "Can we meet Maryam Mansef? Can we meet Maryam Mansef? I want to meet Maryam Mansef. Where is she? How can we meet her?" And that was the first sense that I got that there was a really special politician in Canada that had the respect of the Afghan community. And it's really an honor to be able to welcome Maryam here. Briefly, her bio is that she is the founder and CEO of Onward, where she now uses her expertise as a public speaker and consultant to support causes and leaders she believes in. So the fact that she's here means something. And she's an entrepreneur, a new mother of a beautiful baby, and a former cabinet minister, specifically the Minister for Women, Gender Equality, and the Youth of Canada, the most perfect role for this community. And we're so grateful to have you, Maryam. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to the wonderful Maryam Mansa.
Thank you so much, Justin. Hello, everybody. Bonjour, Anin. Salam alaikum. Let me say the honor is all mine. As I watched you start to log in, I almost cried. Each of you, like Justin says, represents so much hope and so much potential. And each of you is an inspiring story. You have overcome so much, more than most people endure in a lifetime. And so for me to have a few moments with you here tonight to launch this beautiful program that has so thoughtfully been put together, so lovingly put together for you, it's an honor. Justin, congratulations to you, to Susan John, to the whole team at 30 Birds. I heard about you folks because you kept popping up on my LinkedIn profile as an organization doing really important work. عید همگی شما مبارک باشه. روز نمازا شما قبول باشه. خدا کنه که از قوم خیشا دوستا خبر دارین و خدا کنه که خوب و خوش و سلامت باشین. میفهمم که روزه گرفتن کار آسونی نیه، باز بخصوص به این کشور. When everybody around you's eating and life goes on as normal, it's not like back home where there's some sort of solidarity. And so I think you get extra points with God for fasting in places where it's not the norm. I'm going to spend the time that I have with you today talking about, going very quickly through things that I spend days sharing with people. But I understand you're about to embark on a really great program. If you're not sure if you have time for this program, make time for it. I want to sign up for it. I think I'm too old for it. But these opportunities don't exist for everybody. And when something is built for you with so much love, you know that it's going to be good for you. So if you remember nothing I say to you tonight, sign up for this program, benefit from it, get every bit of benefit out of it. I'll talk to you about 5 things that I think have been helpful to me in the, close to 30 years that I've been in Canada and throughout my journey. But I want to start with one piece. And I thought that was a beautiful land acknowledgement. Tashakor. I'm speaking to you from my home in Peterborough, Ontario. I'm not wearing makeup other than Sorme, which I think we were all born with. My son is waiting for me to go put him to sleep, and my mom is keeping him company. This place that I call home is the only place I've ever been welcomed in. It's the only place that I've ever felt safe in. And the people here and their kindness to me and my family, it's why I decided to run for office. It's why I stayed in politics, even though things were really, really hard for so long, because they gave me so much and I felt the need to give back. And while it's true that my experience as an Afghan Canadian is somewhat similar to your experiences as Afghans new to Canada, there are similarities. I don't know about you, but when I came to Canada when I was 11, I cried every night. I didn't want to be here. It wasn't my choice to be here. I missed, even though things weren't great, I missed our people. I hated not having the language. I hated being picked on. I was bullied by the kids who didn't understand me. I didn't look like them. I didn't dress like them. I didn't smell like them. I didn't eat the same food as them. I didn't want to be here. And if I could go back some 30 years and talk to that little girl who cried at night, I would comfort her and tell her that which hurts you so much right now, that pain that you're feeling, that's going to be your superpower when you grow up. And I say this to you girls, to young women who have overcome all sorts of pain and heartache, not because my pain is anywhere close to what you've experienced. The trauma you've experienced is out of this world. I share this with you because that which hurts you, you already know this better than little me did. If you're able to take care and heal and have the right supports around you, that's going to be your superpower. Your why comes from that. The reason you're going to get out of bed when it's really, really hard. You're going to draw that energy and strength from that reason, that sense of purpose. So everything I'm going to share with you is based on a lot of privilege. What I've endured is nothing close to what you've experienced. And I just want to put that out there. So the 5 things that I would share with you very quickly. Want to be a leader? What is it that you want to get done? What is your reason for building up your resume, for going to networking events? Once you figure that out, write it down. And then doodle, write it به گوشه کنارا کتاب خو، به تا تلفن خو، به تا کامپیوتر خو، یاد شما نره. It's very, very easy in the noisy world we live in to lose sight of that purpose. And there will be people in your life who will try to steer you off your path. But if you know your why, your purpose, هدف شما، هیچ کس نمیتونه شما رو تکون بده. قرص قایم, you can very strongly hold on to it. That would be my first piece of advice, is figure out your why. The second most helpful thing I can share with you is take care of yourself. This body of yours that brought you from one part of the world to this one, this beautiful mind of yours that's able to very quickly learn a brand new language and adapt to life in a new place away from loved ones, this heart of yours that's endured more pain than most people experience in a lifetime, take care of it. Appreciate it. Give thanks for it. In Canada, one of the things we built into the Afghan resettlement program was mental health supports. So I think it's like 8 to 10 sessions free that you get, usually with professionals who understand Afghan culture and your language. Make sure you take advantage of it. You may be fully functioning and you may be strong, and I'm so proud of you. But you've been through some really horrible trauma, and working through that trauma is really, really important. Maybe not all of it, but over time, you have to, otherwise it builds up. Take care of your mental health and take care of your financial health. This is advice that women very rarely get. بخصوص شما که تونستین بیاین به Canada. I know that you're working hard. I saw a few of you were traveling to work or from work in addition to your studies. You're working part-time or full-time, and I know you're sending money back home. And I'm not discouraging that. Barakallah shama. But you also need to set money aside for yourselves. A big part of your ability to lead is your financial health. So understand how money works in Canada. Understand how to grow your wealth in Canada. The power of $20 saved over time, and how to build good credit, how to get good debt. These are really, really important things that, particularly for young racialized women, newcomer women, it's important to learn these. Take care of your money. Giving it all away and trying to please everybody may in the moment feel good, but in the long term, it will hurt you. So take care of yourself while you take care of others. Build up your skills. So every piece of professional and personal development that comes your way, especially if it's free, take it. And additionally, one skill that I'd highly encourage you to hone is time management. Learn how to plan your time. It's the one resource that you will not be able to renew. And the higher up you go in your leadership journey, the more that question of how are you going to manage your time comes up. So figure it out now so that it's easier later on in life. Learn how to tell your story. That part of your self-care, learn how to tell your story. And learn how to tell it in 1 minute, in 3 minutes, in 5 minutes, in 20 minutes. Your story is an incredible one, and everywhere you go in the world, for the rest of your life, people will be interested in your story. It's more effective as a tool to change people's minds and get them to do something than any statistic you can share with them. So learn how to tell your story. The most important piece that I'll share about self-care, because it's part of our culture, particularly for young women, I have a feeling, particularly because you're in Canada now, there's pressure for some, if not many of you, to start thinking about getting married. Choosing the person you're going to end up with and sharing your life with is probably the most important decision you're going to make. Take your time. You're in Canada now. And it's going to take you time to be able to stand up on your own feet. And so your parents are not going to like me for telling you this, but before you complicate your life even further, make sure that you're okay. I didn't get married until I was in my late 30s. And honestly, I wish I'd taken my time even longer. Don't tell anybody. I share this with you because there's pressures. I know culturally, especially because you're in Canada, to get married, but find the strength and find good positive things to be involved with. وقتی که ببینن شما فعالیت‌های مثبت دارین، دل اینا جمع‌تر میشه. So just putting that out there for you, but obviously your body, your choice. If you find Prince Charming or whoever it is, go for it. But that would be a big piece of advice, is that relationship is going to take up a lot of time and space in your life. Take your time. 3, related to what I just shared, the most important currency in life is not money, it's not dollars, it's relationships. Relationship with yourself is important, which we covered. The relationship, should you want one, with a significant other, with a spouse, is important. But the relationships with people on this call, the relationships with your coworkers, the relationships with people on LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, get one. The most important currency in life is relationships, and you have a long life, inshallah, ahead of you. And you're going to keep coming across the same people, I promise you. So be kind, first of all. You never know, somebody on this call could be the one giving you your mortgage for your first house, or teach your kid, or be the Prime Minister of Canada, or the President of Afghanistan. Be kind. But also, those relationships are what's going to get you through the good times, what's going to help you, accelerate your growth as a leader. They're going to be the people who help build your teams once you're in leadership positions or getting to that place. But they're also going to be the people you can count on when things aren't going well, because inevitably there will be ups and downs in life. With this program that you're in, you have built-in relationships, people who are invested in your success. And like Justin said, people who are willing to open doors for you. You know, benefit from that, be grateful for it, accept it. This is not an act of charity, by the way. They believe in you. They see you as key to the future of Afghanistan and Canada. So don't feel like they're doing you any favors. You have earned it. So just keep going with it and show them that even more young women like you are worthy of opportunities like this. Invest in those relationships. And, you know, two more things I'll say about this. In intimate circles like this, I can say Mean Girls. How many of you have heard of Mean Girls? I know you've heard of Mean Girls. Mean girls are the ones who, for whatever reason, can't be happy for other girls' success, who try to be friendly with the guys by hurting the girls at the table, who think that there isn't enough room for all the girls to succeed and do well. And there's also mean girls in our heads. Silence the mean girl in your head. Surround yourself with kind people. And if you get the urge to be a mean girl, cut it out. The world is hard enough as it is. And some of the hardest moments in my life have come into my life because of mean girls. Don't do it. Don't be that girl. I'll leave that there. One more thing about relationships, and this is something Indigenous people in this country have taught me, is relationships with all around us matters. My son, when he wakes up in the morning, needs to say good morning to everything, the trees and the birds and the rain and the whatever. I think it's a lot of work, but it's adorable. And it's also good for his spiritual health. I've also learned that Indigenous people in this country have a lot to teach us Afghans about self-determination, about the importance of a strong, secure cultural identity, about the importance of language, about how to push and get our rights after we've been displaced and harmed. So build relationships with the first people of this land, learn the story of their struggles and their teachings, because they have a lot to teach us Afghans in Canada and all over the world. Number 4, and this is Barack Obama, President Obama's advice to young people, learn how to get things done. گپ آسونه و خیلی ها گپ زیاد میزنن و گپ کلان زیاد میزنن. But what really matters is how to get things done. Figure out how things get done in your community. The mentors around you can help you with that. Oh, that's enough on that, because you don't want to say too much about how to get things done. Figure it out. They can be small things. If people know they can rely on you, it makes a world of difference. And then you build on the responsibility you can take on. Lastly, I want to talk about resilience. Onward, what I do now is all about resilience. Inevitably, life will be hard. حتی کسایی که بهترین زندگی دارن، آرامش همیشگی دارن، به جلو پایین سختی میآید. باز چی رسه به ما افغانا و به خصوص زن افغان، به خصوص زن جوان افغان. And for you, I know that the expectations are really high. You've made it out of the country, and your families and your friends and so many others think you're going to suddenly solve all their problems. That your problems are now solved, that you don't have to worry about anything. So like they're ready to benefit from your expertise. You're going to have to build a very strong, deep reservoir of resilience. You're going to do that by taking care of yourself. All that stuff I said about, taking care of your mind and your body and your money and your relationships, that's part of how you build resilience. But there will be days when you just simply have no hope. Another horrible thing will happen either in Canada, the world, in Afghanistan, and it will be hard to even believe that things will get better. On those days, I hope you'll remember the story of you, of the kind of miracle it has taken for you to be who you are, where you are in that moment. On those days, I hope you're keeping a journal. I hope, like, even if you write 1 or 2 lines in it every day and date it, I hope you're keeping a journal and you can look back. And if you haven't started a journal, start today. 1 or 2 lines. You can write it, start it in your you can start it in your phone, or you can start it in an actual book. That journal will be really helpful to you when you leaf through it over time, because you'll realize who you are now in these, what I imagine are hard days. You're going to want to remember what 20-something-year-old, 17-something-year-old you felt, believed in 5, 10, 15 years from now. But keep a journal too, because dilo pure. And very few people will understand what it's like to be you. It's good to have a place where you can let it all out and be you. I think that I could be wrong, but the hardest thing that could have happened has already happened to you. The worst, most unimaginable, awful thing that could have happened has already happened to you. So try to heal from that. But also, I say that to you because don't be afraid. Nothing will be as hard as what you've already experienced and overcome. Do not be afraid. Do not let fear stop you. You are so freaking strong that you're in this moment and showing up to a Zoom call this time of night. That says a lot about you. But the hardest thing, the worst thing that could have happened is behind you, girls. And moving forward, the most powerful tool against the unjust oppressors, the systems like the Taliban, is young women like you. هر جا میخیزم و میشینم مگپ شما و مادرها شما رو میزنم. And the young men who grew up, that generation of young men who grew up, young women who grew up and saw for a moment what it was like to live in a society where everyone plays a part. And I know it wasn't perfect, but you are the strongest defense against the oppressor. So take care of that and remember that. And when it feels really, really hard, remember it's because the oppressors are afraid of you. You are the most powerful tool against that injustice. You are living, breathing reminders of what young Afghan women are capable of when we get out of their way. So the higher you soar, the more they will be afraid. And the more they'll say stupid things on social media, the harder they'll try to make it feel for you. Don't let that stop you. And remember, you come from a long line of strong, resilient Afghan women who've endured war after war, oppressor after oppressor, and they still get out of bed. And they still do so with a smile. And they still find love and kindness in their hearts for their children, for their families, for strangers. You come from a long line of strong, resilient Afghan women. Here you are being given a pretty incredible opportunity to soar. So I hope you take it. I hope you embrace each other in this journey. And I look forward to checking in with you along your leadership journey and being inspired by what you're able to achieve with your incredible community here. So thank you so much for including me in this launch tonight, for showing up. And I'm really, really, really grateful that there are non-Muslims, non-Afghans out there like Justin and his team who believe in you too. We need people like them continuing to believe in you because you will change the world. تشكر.
Maryam, that was unbelievably beautiful and profound and just the most perfect uh, uh, talk that you could have given in this moment. And I see, tears and smiles and hearts. Thank you. I want to we've got a few minutes for a Q&A. We'll conclude with a group photo. So if you don't have your camera on now and you're not in a position to turn it on, get into position. So in 8-10 minutes, we'll do a group photo, but we'll take a couple of questions, Mario. Is that all right? Do you have a few minutes for some questions?
I hear Samad crying a little bit, and my mom is like being very loud in our game, so I will do my best. But when he comes, guys, I gotta go.
All right. I just did the same with Michael. So I gotta go soon too. But does anyone want to raise their hand and ask a very quick question of Mario? I see 3 hands have come up quickly. Let's take these 3 questions if we can. We'll start with Najia.
Hello everyone, bonjour à tous, Eid Mubarak. First of all, I would like to say a warm welcome to our special guest tonight, Ms. Maryam Munsif, and all of you. This is Nadia Sani. I'm a first-year student at Toronto Metropolitan University and having the honor to work as the Community Advisory Board member. And my question is about women's rights and gender equality. In Afghanistan, women's rights and opportunities have been greatly impacted by cultural, political, and social dynamics. What specific changes do you believe are needed in Afghanistan to empower women and promote gender equality? And how these changes how can these changes happen in a way that respects Afghanistan's unique culture and traditions while also advancing the rights and well-being of women? Thank you.
Mariam, do you want us to take all 3 and try to weave them in? Okay, great. Samaya.
Thank you, Ms. Munsef, for your very, very inspirational speech, and it truly touched our hearts. And I'm really just in awe of you. You're very inspiring, and I mean your you-ness, you just being you, and we looking at you, it inspires us a lot, and it gives us hope to see ourselves someday in a place that we can be helpful and effective in our community, in our societies. Thank you very much for that. And my question is that I have been here for more than 2 years. My name is Sumaya. Let me introduce myself. I study health studies at the University of Saskatchewan. I live in Saskatoon. And what I realized is that no matter how hard we try, we are never equal. We never get the equal opportunity. Like you introduce yourselves, that there are people who are kind and they love you and they get you and they see you as whatever you do and you say, but there are many, many instances where you just say, well, my name is Sumaya and I'm from Afghanistan, and people look at you and they have a stereotype in their mind. I'm really curious that how did you overcome the stereotypes of being an Afghan woman, and you just overcome that and you reached where you are now. I want you to share with us how you did that. Thank you.
Thanks, Samaya. And Masuma.
Thank you, Mariam John. That was truly inspiring us. Thank you so much for being here. A question that came up in my mind is, what truly inspired you to to pursue a career in politics. And where did you start? Did you go to university? Did you do, some volunteer things? No? Thank you in advance.
All right, over to you, Maryam.
Okay. Thank you so much for your thoughtful questions and for your lovely messages. I'm seeing them pop up on the side. Nadia John, mon français n'est pas si bon que je le voudrais, mais j'y travaille. If any of you have the time or the capacity to learn French, oh my God, I highly, highly encourage it. It would have helped me so much in my time in federal politics. If you get the opportunity to learn French, please do so. So, merci beaucoup, Nadia John. Your question is a very big one around what it's going to take in Afghanistan. And I am not the expert, but some of what I've heard, and I do agree with, first of all, the Taliban must be held to account for their crimes. And there is a gender apartheid happening in Afghanistan right now. And so first and foremost, that needs to be addressed, because when one group of terrorists can walk into a capital and overthrow a democratically elected government in one country, then that empowers and emboldens others to do so in other parts of the world. So for the sake of all of us, the Taliban need to be held to account, and also what they're doing day after day with impunity against Afghan women and girls, Hazaras, and other minority groups is unspeakable and a crime. And so first, that needs to happen. I strongly believe in the power of women's grassroots movements, and I do believe that they have a lot of the solutions. Indigenous people have also taught me the importance of self-determination in a country as diverse as Afghanistan. For solutions to be imposed upon to the people from the outside, they're not going to work. We've seen that. So it has to be something that Afghans themselves decide and move forward with. And I also believe strongly that unless the men of Afghanistan are with the women, that we're never going to get to where we need to get to in Afghanistan. So these are the husbands, the brothers, the sons, the leaders, the grandparents, fathers, who play a really important role, particularly right now, because unless they speak up, the Taliban's hold will continue to be strong, and women will continue to be held back from contributing and therefore hold back the whole country. So I'm not the expert, but these are opinions and research that I do agree with and strongly believe in. So John, 2 years is not a long time in Canada, but I hear you on the stereotypes. Will always be put into boxes, tiny little boxes. And it's actually human nature to be stereotypical. It used to save us from, if it's got big teeth and it's gonna go rawr, run away, right? That's a good stereotype that has helped our species survive over a long period of time. I wasn't always proud to be talking about being an Afghan woman. I didn't for the longest time, because after September 11th, after 9/11, the way that the world looked at Afghans, particularly Afghan girls and women, I didn't like it. So I didn't even talk about it for the longest time. And then for a while, I just made up stories, because the number one question people ask you, politely or impolitely, is like, so where are you from? So I didn't want to talk about it because, like you, I didn't want to be put into a stereotype. But let me share something for you to consider. Nowadays, from what I see, Afghan women, particularly young women who are so articulate like you're kind of superheroes. So I would embrace it. I would embrace it, Somaya Jan. Remind them that Afghan women are capable of learning a brand new language in 2 years. They're ambitious and they want to contribute to one of the biggest challenges that Canada has, which is health, which is what you're studying right now. It's a big responsibility, but own it and know that you are representing Afghan women everywhere, and that's a lot. But also something that helped me when I got to a place where I could be strong enough for it was use the element of surprise to your advantage. So, if they think you're too young, or if they think, you're too weak, or whatever it is they think about you, over prepare and surprise them with your strength and tenacity and your ability to get things done. Because I'll be frank with you, everywhere you go for the rest of your life, there will be stereotypes. As long as you're aware of them, and as long as you're clear on why you want to do what you want to do, that why is clear, all that other stuff you could learn to navigate. Now, I say this, if you ever find that your rights are being violated because of those stereotypes and that discrimination and harassment and things like that are happening, that's a different ballgame. Tap into this network, folks like Justin, Susanjan, and the board, and ask for advice. And, don't be afraid to stand up for your rights. But if it doesn't get to that point, I would use those stereotypes to just go into every situation, eyes wide open, and use them to your advantage. It's one of the reasons why I won. Part of the election is they just thought, oh, this little girl, she's never gonna win. So Masumijan, that kind of answers, I hope, part of your question. I didn't grow up wanting to be a politician. I didn't go to school to be interested in politics. I actually started going to City Hall on Monday nights and started live tweeting what was happening, just for fun. This is back when Twitter was nice, by the way. Um, and why I got started was after some period of time, I realized I understand how this process works. I think I could do this. There are things I really, really care about. And there are things that these people just don't understand. They don't know what it's like to be poor. They don't know what it's like to go to the grocery store and swipe their card and not know if it's going to be accepted or declined. They've never been on a city bus before, and now they're making decisions about buses. They've never had a student loan, and they're making decisions about students. And that anger and that frustration is actually what motivated me. And by then I'd spent enough time in the community, and I'd gotten some things done, and I had great mentors and supporters who started asking me to consider running. And so they believed in me before I believed in myself. And that's really how my journey started, was accidentally. And when I ran, it wasn't because I thought I was going to win. I ran because nobody else wanted to run, and I didn't want the person who ran to run unopposed. So I thought I'd go and make a case. And then I came within 1,300 votes of winning. And then Justin Trudeau called and said, do you want to run for my team? And so that's how that started. So opportunities will come your way. Try to say yes. Don't burn yourself out. But also pay attention to that, whatever it is that gets you excited and pushes you to make time and show up, because that's the universe, that's your mind and body and heart telling you you need to be there, that this is part of your path. I said all that very, very quickly because now I hear a bit of a thing happening downstairs. So I gotta go get my baby boy, who's actually a really, really nice boy. And I hope he grows up to benefit from incredible young women like you, making the world better for him too. Because when we make things better for women, and when you young women make things better for young women, you're actually making it better for everybody. So keep up the great work. I am so proud of you. You've overcome so much already. You are so much more talented than I am. You're going to achieve so many greater things than I could even imagine. So take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and please benefit from this program. I wish something like this had existed when I was your age. I think I would have made way fewer mistakes when I was given an opportunity to lead.
Thank you, Maryam. Wow, wow, wow. We are so lucky to have you, and I hope, let's talk, we can have you in person in November for the inaugural launch of our summit in Saskatoon. So let's talk about that. And if we can make that happen, another incentive for everyone to register and commit to the conference. And real quick, let's take a group photo before Maryam has to go put her baby to bed. If everyone will turn on their cameras, if you don't have your camera on, smile, wave, look happy. 3, 2, 1. And wait, keep smiling because we have to take all the different screens. I'm taking all the screens here. Wow. Wow. Look at everyone. This is amazing. Awesome. All right. Thanks, Maryam. We'll stay on for 5 minutes to talk a little bit more about Wingspan, but Maryam, have a wonderful evening. Really quick, there's not much else we're going to share. We're going to post the application, the link to apply for Wingspan in the chat. The application might take some time, so give yourself enough time. And I'm also going to share my screen for a minute. If anyone wants to take a picture. We also have a QR code to apply for this incredible program. So I'll keep this up for a minute. And Sasan, could you remind us when is, it says right here, I was going to ask, submit by April 22nd. So we've got 11 days to submit. I'll tell you a bit about the application. There are 4 questions to answer. You can, write a paragraph or a few sentences or as much as you want for each of those 4 questions. And then there's a lot of just information. Your name, your email, your date of birth, what school you're in, if you're not in school, what job you have or what job you don't have. A few other questions. So it might take a little bit of time. So make sure to read through the application, read the questions that you need to write. And then take your time filling it out. And then I want to also briefly introduce the staff at 30 Birds. For those of you who have not met, everyone got to meet the wonderful Susan. But briefly, Amy Madsen is our chief of staff at 30 Birds. Amy, say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Jessica is our director of grant making and donor communications.
Hi, everybody.
Jessica is based on Vancouver Island. And then if you are in Saskatoon and you've not met the wonderful Kahan, please say hello.
Hello, Salam. Thank you everybody for having me.
Kahan is our incredible community manager in Saskatoon, helping put on a lot of amazing events, working with the new cultural coordinating committee. We also, from our board, just want to let Abuzar, if you'd like to say a quick hi as well, has joined us this evening.
Hi, everybody.
And I also want, for those of you, also if you've not met yet in Saskatoon, Rowan, the amazing Rowan is here. Say hi.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you.
And I know many of you have a special place in your heart for Aziz. So Aziz, say hello.
Twinkle, twinkle.
So look, we're building a community, we're building a family here. And we want you to feel free to reach out with questions, especially to Susan, who's our director of community and mentorship, and Kahan, who's our manager of community and mentorship. Susan, Kahan, will you guys put your emails in the chat if people have questions about the application? The application's due April 22nd. The programs will start May 13th. They'll be online. And we're just so excited. This is the beginning of something really special. So please reach out with questions. Eleep, hope you have a good rest of your night learning English. Thank you for taking the time to join us. And we'll see you all soon.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good time,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
I